Well, 84 of 110 wickets have fallen to spinners, including 60 of 70 wickets in the last two tests. In the aftermatch of the two-day test, some said India has pushed home advantage to the extreme and batting has become a lottery. But Virat Kohli says such criticisms are unfair. Coming to you, Andrew, would you say criticisms about the pitch are unfair? It is all about the skill set of the players who are involved in the contest.
Well, yes, fundamentally, I think you've got to accept that the players are the key thing here. But I think there is a degree of issue in the pitch. Certainly, the third test when you have. I actually flagged it before the second test that if you have a pitch that spins so much that it brings lesser bowlers into the game, like Joe Root getting 5 for 8. You do ask questions about, is it really the skill of the bowler or is it the pitch that's making the opportunities there? I've got absolutely no quibbles about the second test pitch, as it happens. When India scores 600 runs and bowled England out twice for less than 200, I think it's fairly clear that England were at fault. But I do think India nearly tripped over in this last test. I mean, a 10-wicket win looks comprehensive, but had England batted a little bit better on that first day, got 180, 200, who knows? It could have been a very interesting finish. And I'm not sure you can completely rule out the fact that the pitch was tricky for both sides in this one.
Andrew, in the second test, England were beaten by over 300 runs. In the third test, they were beaten by 10 wickets. Do you think a comeback now is possible, given that they have been mentally disintegrated on this tour?
I think it's highly unlikely, especially given it sounds like there's going to be another turning track. And again, I'm with Kohli. I think there is too much noise about turning tracks. I don't think it's right to expect to rock up in India and not have to play spin well. And fundamentally, England's defence against spin was ropey in the last two tests, and so therefore I don't see how that defence is going to get much better in the interim. And I would expect India to win quite comfortably. That said, I don't know if they've been mentally disintegrated as such. They're a pretty resilient bunch. I mean, Joe Root was in fine form going into the series. I think they've got a lot of fight in them. I'm just not sure they've got the skills to fight back if the ball does turn.
Anis, coming to you, well, the timing of the test match now changes. It's going to be a day test, will be played with a red ball. Would you say then that the fortunes might change in this test?
To some extent, yes, Rika, because the pink ball was hurrying to the batsman, whereas the red ball comes a bit slow. We got to see what sort of wicket we're going to get. Like Andrew said, that the third test match was a little more difficult wicket compared to the second test match. Mm-hmm. So we all have to see what sort of wicket, and we have to see whether Akshar Patel will be tested. He was not tested in the second match, and in third test match he was all over England. So it all depends how the wicket is, and if India bat first, then it's going to be curtains for England.